As seen on Kaleidoscope the Series. Kaleidoscope the Series on ABC 23. It's a different look at our region, unique places you may not know exist, unique people sharing their amazing talents. There are good things happening in our area. Watch it all every Sunday on Kaleidoscope the Series on ABC 23. Hello, welcome to Kaleidoscope. This is the show that takes a unique look at people, places, and things in our region. I'm Sarah Cameron. We begin our show at a must-stop location, Doolittle Railway Station, just outside of DuBois. Now, it's not your typical railway station. When you climb aboard these cars, you don't physically travel anywhere, but you are transported in time with the menu and stylings of this unique restaurant and museum venue.
The owner is Dr. Jeffrey Rice. He's a local doctor. He's an oral maxillofacial surgeon in DuBois. He's been here a long time. He has a thriving practice, but he also does a lot for the community. He owns a lot of historic buildings in town and has restored them, kind of revitalized downtown DuBois somewhat.
History at Doolittle Station. It was a lifelong dream pretty much for the doc. He was into trains as a child, and he saw that the history of the railroad has been being forgotten. So that's what he wanted to do, is bring back the history, bring back what it was like. I know he has plans of an 1880 blueprint for a depot station. That's where the depot came about. Right down to the white pine floors and the tin roof. The artifacts that he has in here is all DuBois and the surrounding area based. Here at the depot, we do have two cars. We have a 1913 parlor car, which we do fine dining in on Fridays and Saturdays from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m.
I'm the executive chef of the depot. I make the menus, set the menus, train the cooks, and decide, what we're doing as far as our farm-to-table menu, what's coming up in season, what we're gonna do next. Well, the parlor car, the one that we're sitting in, is our fine dining restaurant. So we wanted to bring like a true fine dining experience where you can sit down for a 3-course meal. It's all going to be cooked like à la minute. That means at the minute in French. So we're not doing things ahead of time, and it's pre-cooked, it's cooked to order.
All of the wood is a Cuban mahogany. In and around 1920 is when it was electrified. At that point, they had enclosed the back. It was an open back originally, but due to people falling off, they decided it was a good idea to close it off. So they used Afghanistan mahogany to close it off. So there are two separate species of mahogany that bring the parlor together itself. Took 3 guys, 2 years, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week to get everything the way that it is now. We did have a lady from Ridgeway with a hand-painted ceiling that she had done, which absolutely looks remarkable.
The room before us was a ladies' parlor, so the ladies weren't actually allowed in this area. This was the men's parlor. So those historic things and just changing of times is an interesting thing.
There's a lot of literature on the parlor car with Thomas Edison riding it. I know in the 20s when they did electrify it, they used a company, the Westinghouse company, and Thomas Edison's inventions to put up the lines itself. The parlor car was one of the first to have a telephone in it due to Thomas Edison. There was no monies actually obtained from the parlor car itself. It was more of marketing and advertising for the rich and famous. Please come ride with our line, come ride on our line, and this is one of the cars you could ride on. With the 50s diner, less than 5% of diners are actually ran out of a rail car conversion. It was a 1950s passenger built by Pullman Standard. It was a lot easier to do compared to the parlor car. They wanted to keep the parlor cars all nice wood. You have to do more sanding. With the passenger train, they took all the seats out, which made it available for the booths. It's right down to Marilyn and Elvis in there. You meet them, walk by them as you go to your seat, right down to a 1950s kitchenette. If it was a different color, it'd be my grandma's. I just remember walking into my grandma's kitchen with the kitchenette. It's all I remember when I look at it.
Dr. Rice, the owner, had wanted to do a 50s diner car, so everything's done in the 50s style, and we wanted to have the diner classics, but we also wanted to update it. So we have interesting salads and sandwiches, things that you don't get at every diner in town.
As you walk into the museum or the depot lobby, there are artifacts dating back to the 1800s. I do know we have the oldest electrified chandelier in Pennsylvania. It is hanging front and center as you walk in the door. We have authentic wanted posters from 1915. We have authentic 1800, 1900 lighting memorabilia, right down to conductors' hats and coats. Chandeliers that date back to 1880s, 1900s that were actually converted from kerosene to electric to actually hang from the ceiling that they're hanging from today.
So the cabooses are going to be turned into B&Bs. So they were set up like camper style now, so they're all going to be renovated and you can stay in them and you can have your bed and breakfast on site. So these over here were set, and I think it took a day with a crane. Basically, the way that they get train cars here is there's a rail yard right across the street. So they bring them in by rail from wherever they are, and they can stay over there. Then we need cranes to move them from across the road to here. The green box car where the model trains are going to run, that one and the yellow caboose that's out front, it took about 3 days to move them from where they were to set them on the rails. So I always know when there's a train car coming soon because they put the rails out. That's my indication that a train is coming soon.
It's unique, fun for the whole family. I have never been to another place of this sort. I've never even really heard of anything of this sort. So you more or less just have to come down and see it.
It's something you have to see, and you don't necessarily even know everything that's going on, even if you just pass us on the road, because you can't really see everything. It looks like there's a lot going on, and there is a lot going on once you get inside the depot and you see how beautifully it's been done with all the light fixtures and how big it is, and the museum, and then to be able to come into the parlor car and see it being redone. And we have an open door, so if you were just driving by on a Monday afternoon, you can come in, we'll show you around, and it's a nice environment.
Come down to Doolittle Station for a kaleidoscope of experiences.